Hi everyone, it's Sabrina from Quiet Like Horses. Today I want to talk about two of my favorite things, food and Paris. So James and I went back in February and it was my first time there. We had so much good food. Good food was everywhere. And I'd love to share three of my favorite restaurants. Let's get into it. The first restaurant is Guy Savoy. It's a 3-star Michelin restaurant. And James took me there after he proposed, no big deal. But even if you're not going to celebrate getting engaged or some big life moment, just go there and celebrate you and being alive and being in Paris. It's in the Old Paris Mint, which is this beautiful building, and when you walk in, there's red carpet lined stairs. The doors open for you right away.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh. So it's really embarrassing if you're like me trying to take an Instagram story and they're behind the doors watching you walk up, but whatever. So there are 6 rooms that overlook the Seine River. They're beautiful and really elegant. We went for lunch and one of my favorite things was, we went for lunch and normally fancy restaurants make me sweat. It's like I feel like they know that I don't belong there, but the service was impeccable and our server was so nice and made me feel at ease and like totally, it was so great. What I ordered for lunch was the salmon. They actually cooked it tableside for us. So they cooked it on dry ice first and then they finished it on a plate with a little bit of broth, and that was really, really cool. For dessert, we had 3 dessert courses, pre-dessert, dessert, and then post-dessert. For dessert, James ordered this chocolate structure, and it was also doubled as a magic trick.
This is the trick, magic trick.
Which was really fun. And after that, our server came in with a huge trolley of more desserts. And then they send you home with a brioche gift, which you can actually now get in Vegas if you can't make it to Paris. And I'd highly recommend it. The second restaurant I'd highly recommend is actually a wine and tapas bar called Comptoir. And my cousin Mabel recommended it and she insisted, you have to go to this. And let me tell you, having gone, you have to go to this. There's no wine menu, which is hard for someone like me who's like a rule follower and likes order and process. But what you do is you just sidle up to the bar and tell the barman what kinds of wine you like, and he'll pour you different kinds of wine to try. This is where I discovered that I'm a Sancerre girl. And so I like to be really snooty about it now, like, oh, I love Sancerre and Paris. All of the tapas that they have available hang from these cards on the ceiling, which is really, really cool. And they make their own bread in-house with a mountain of butter. So that's super fun to get this like huge mountain of butter passed around. It's just a really fun and hip place. So it's standing room only. There's a sister restaurant next door. It's worth a trip on its own. We actually went twice, which is how fun it was. Lastly, moving on to baked goods and sweets. Everyone always talks about the croissants and the macarons in Paris, but actually I was a little underwhelmed. So in San Francisco, we have Tartine and Arsicolt and Beef Patisserie for croissants, and Chantal Guyon for macarons, and I feel like those places have perfected that. And so I don't really care for the croissants or the macarons in Paris. My favorite third recommendation for this video is a bakery called Comptoir and Georges Larnicol. Pardon my French. But they really excel at kouign-amands, and so they have them in all different flavors. And the trick is, if you are going to eat them right after you get them, to ask the counter person to heat it up a little bit, and you'll be on your way to having like ooey-gooey, buttery, sugary goodness drip down your chin, and like we had, and it was just really glorious. So that's it for my top 3 favorite Paris restaurants. So we have Guy Savoy if you want to treat yourself with something fancy. We have Comptoir to get wine and tapas, and then we have Maison Georges Larnicol for the kouign-amands. So let me know what your favorites are, and you can find the rest of my Paris restaurant recommendations on the blog at quietlikehorses.com.